We've got a new feature available in Brightspace. This is a combination of Brightspace and H5P. It is through Creator Plus, and it's called H5P Smart Import. This is especially exciting for those of you who maybe have always wanted to try adding an interactive H5P activity to your course, but you feel like you don't have the time to learn it or to build them. Smart Import lets you create H5P interactives in just a few minutes with any content essentially that you can think of that you've got for your course. So I'm going to run through a quick example. I am actually building an interactive for my own college experience course. And so I thought I would take a couple minutes and show this off. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out, and one of our team members would be happy to meet with you and walk you through this process, but it is really very simple. So I've got my Brightspace course open here, and I want to add a new interactive video to my course. Interactive videos are videos that have questions that pop up throughout to make sure that students are watching and paying attention and, to check for understanding. So H5P will create these for me. It will put the questions in and it will build it, and then it will integrate directly right into the gradebook. So I've got my module open. I'm using the new content experience, so it might look a little different to you, but I'm in module 3 of my course. This is where I want to add my lecture video. And so I'm going to go to add existing, and I'm going to click the H5P button. When I do this, it's going to open my H5P window. If you have never used H5P before, you might get a pop-up to log into your account or to create an account. But if you have been in it before, you'll pop up right to the screen. You're going to see this new Smart Import button. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And then you can see I've already done a bunch of smart imports here, but I'm going to click a new import. And then here's where you're going to feed it your content. So you can only feed it one piece of content at a time. You can choose any kind of file, a Word document, a PDF, a PowerPoint slideshow, anything like that. You can do a link. So if you want to have students watch a YouTube video and you want to make sure they actually watch it, you can turn that into an interactive video, or you can use text. You will have a bunch of options as to what kind of interactives you want to create, and you can create more than one from this one piece of content. So I'm doing interactive videos today, although in this example, I will create a few different things to show you. So I've already got a video that I made using Zoom clips, and I'm going to use that for this purpose today. So I'm going to click on my video and click open. In this section, you can customize what you want the interactive to focus on. So if you wanted to focus on the terms that are being discussed in the video or in the document, you can do that. Let's say I wanted to do one on APA citations. I could focus on examples or focus on certain types of sources like web sources or something like that. This lecture video happens to be on study skills. So I'm just going to say focus on understanding of study skills concepts. You can actually copy and paste your learning objectives from your course guide in here, anything that's relevant, and that will really help tailor the content directly to what you want. We're going to hit submit. It's going to take a couple of minutes here to do its thing, so just be patient. While we're doing that, I'm going to pull my other H5P tab over here. So you can also go out to h5p.com and log in directly, which is what I've done over here. I'm going to show you one that I've already imported. It's the same video, but I had already imported it earlier. So while that one's working, let's look at this one. Once it goes through the transcription process, you're going to get this button. It's going to say review concepts. You will get an email every time it goes through a new stage of this process. And so if you're creating a bunch of these, you might want to filter those emails to skip your inbox. So you're going to review the concepts that are in the content. And if you don't want to include any, you can just uncheck them. And then we'll hit continue. And then the button's going to change to selecting content types. So this one that just popped up, that's the video I just uploaded, which is still in the transcribing process. The other nice thing about this tool is you can do multiple smart imports at once. So if you have 3 different things you want to create interactives for, you can get them all rolling at the same time and it will work through them. So when it's ready, you're going to select the content types. By default, it's going to choose interactive book. That is basically a whole lesson where you have pages with glossary terms, text, and pop-up questions and things like that throughout. For whatever reason, that is checked by default. So I'm going to uncheck that and I'm going to check my interactive video. And to show you some other ones, I'll do a question set And let's do some flashcards. And I am not totally sure what the difference between these two types of flashcards is. So let's go ahead and do both. So we're going to wait a couple of minutes, not even minutes, probably a few seconds while this finishes. All right, so you can see that my interactives have finished building. That took probably less than a minute to build 4 or 5 different interactives. So we're going to click See Content. And now you're going to see them all pop up here. You see that they're all under the same title. That's because I created multiple interactives from the same video. I've got a question set, an interactive video, and some dialogue cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at each of them. This is what the question set will look like. It's going to roll through some pages here with different types of questions for students to answer. This is a great knowledge check activity. It auto grades and it can integrate directly in the Brightspace gradebook, or you can keep it as ungraded practice if you want to. By default, it will not go to the gradebook. So if you want it to, you're going to need to click Edit and scroll down. Just skip all the, if you wanted to edit some of the questions, you can do that right in here, okay? Normally, I find that I don't really have to, but I'm going to come down here. One thing I always do is I turn off the Show Solution button, and that's because I don't want students to just click Show Solution and then get the right answer immediately. So I like to take that one away, but I do allow them to retry. Then I'm going to go down here to LTI settings, and I'm going to change this to first attempt, last attempt, or best attempt. I like to go with best attempt. Let them practice it a bunch of times until they get it, and then click Save. And now my interactive is ready to add to the course. So I'm going to go back to Smart Import and take a look at the other things. This is the interactive video that it created for me. So I uploaded this video. Now you will see that every time you see a little dot, that's pop-up information that's going to show. All right, it's time to learn about study skills. Learn the material. So we've learned kind of the there we go with the first one. They can stop and look at it, and then they can move on. When we get to the circles, the video is actually going to stop and ask them to test their knowledge. It's going to roll through a couple of questions here, and we'll see what we got. These questions are not going to be difficult. You can put a specific Bloom's level in your customization text box if you would like to.
The subheadings in the chapter as questions.
Following along and paying attention. So this is my interactive video. What I personally edit when I do these is to scroll down again to behavioral settings, and I will turn the Show Solution button, I will disable. And I will also disable navigation forward. This disallows them from grabbing the scroll bar and moving the video forward to the end or skipping to the question sets. They will actually have to watch the whole video or let it play in order to complete the activity. And then again, I'll go to LTI settings and I will click, in this case, I'm going to click first attempt because I want to make sure that they're paying attention. So their first score is going to go to the gradebook, and then we'll save it. And now we're ready to import. Just to show you what the dialogue cards, these are flashcards. Students just turn these, and this is just a way for them to practice. These are going to be ungraded. There's really no reason to put these in your grade book, but they're a nice option for students to help them learn terms or concepts that they need to study. Okay, so let's go back to the page here. I'm going to go back to my Brightspace course, and I am going to click on See Content for that video I initially added. This is the same page I was just on. I'm just now back in Brightspace, and I'm going to insert my interactive video. Okay, so I'm down here in Module 3. It's going to put it at the end of my module, and I want it over here. So I'm going to grab it and drag it to the top. And now when students see it, they're going to see it's going to play right here in the browser. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is make sure that it is connected in the gradebook. So I'll click Edit Activity. By default, it's going to add it to your gradebook for you, but I want it to be added to a specific grade item that I already have. And so I'm going to click Edit Link to Existing, and then I'm going to find my study skill lecture right here and click OK. And then you can add a description if you want to, and you're good. So now it's in your course and it is connected to the gradebook. So when students do it, their grade's going to go right in there. That is really it for Smart Import. It is super easy to use. Like I said, if you need help, please let us know. We will be happy to walk through it with you or help you build some interactives. I hope the creative juices are flowing. Think about all of the different content you have that you could build from here. The possibilities really are endless.
table.